History, Chapter 1, Sources. In this chapter, you learn sources required to the study of history, types of sources of history, importance of the archaeological sources, importance of the inscription, importance of oral sources in history. History is a systematic study of the past. History is written on the basis of sources. Hence, there is no source, no history, is the stance of history. Historian is like an advocate. The advocates present their arguments on the basis of followed evidences and sources related to their case. Similarly, historians collect the sources, subject them to critical examination, analysis, and then write the history. Whenever direct sources are not available, they need to make assumptions based on the available sources. Hence, often an event is analyzed from different perspectives by different historians. What is a source? Human beings had created many facilities to lead their life since ancient times. If the things used by human beings in the past have remained, then they are called as the sources by historians. Hence, the agricultural tools left by the earlier people, forts, coins, inscriptions, arms, temples, and other religious buildings are considered as source to write history. Similarly, the written documents and literary works are the main source of history. The materials needed for the writing of history are the primary sources. These sources can be divided into two: literary sources and archaeological sources. Literary sources. There are two types in literary sources: written literature and oral literature. Written literature. Written literature is the main source of literary sources. Literature can bring the contemporary social life of the times of the writer alive to us. A literary work portrays and then existing aspects of life either directly or indirectly. There are two types in written literary forms. Native literature. The native literature is created by Indians in native languages, is called as the native literature. Literary works in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Kashmiri, Gujarati, Oriya, and in many other native languages are the sources. Kautilya's Arthashastra, King Hala's Gatha Saptasati, Vishaka Dutta's Mudda Rakshas, Kalhana's Rajatarangi, Bhanabhatta's Harshacharita, Chandrabhadra's Prithviraj Raso, Pampa's Vikramarjuna Vijaya, Sangam literature, and many others such as literary works can be named as native literature. These works portray then contemporary social, religious, economic, culture, and political life of people. Foreign literature. Many foreigners who visited India as travelers, ambassadors, businessmen, officials, and missionaries have recorded their observation and experience in their works. These works are considered as foreign literatures. Megathansins, Indica, Fahins, Gokoki, Hunthangs, Siyuki, Ptolemy's Geography, Feristra's Terika I Feristra, Babar's Tukse Babari, and others are the important sources. Apart from these, there are many other writings that serve as the sources. In these works also one can get the depiction of then contemporary social, political, economic, culture, and administrative aspects. Exaggeration, hyperbole, and loyalty to one's master are apparent in native literature. Similarly, in foreign literature, due to lack of local knowledge, many misgivings are recorded. These are the drawbacks of written literary sources. Historians have the challenge to writing history, keeping in mind all these limitations. Oral literature. Oral literature means the folk story, folk songs, folk legends, ballads, and other that pass on from one person to another by word of mouth. Since the beginning of human life, human beings are passing on their experiences in the form stories, songs, ballads, orally from generation to generation. The folk people have created ballads about their local heroes. There are ballads in Kumararama, the Nayakas of Chitradurga, Kempegowda, Tippu Sultan, Sangulli Rayana, Kitturu Chennamma, Sindura Lakshmana, Meadows, Taylor, and others. Legends mean the local mythological stories. Every place will have their own legends. There are legends behind the names and places like Shravanabelagola, Bengaluru, Koppala, Pattadakallu, Gokarna, and Mysuru. Similarly, every village and town have their own legends. Archaeological sources. Archaeological sources are divided into four types: inscriptions, coins, monuments, other ruins. Archaeological sources are available not only on the surface of the earth but also hidden deep in the depths of the earth. The hidden things in the earth are dug out by using scientific methods. This process is called as excavation. Harappan civilization came to light only due to the process of excavation. During excavation, ruins of building, inscriptions, coins, terracotta pieces, bangles, seals, beads, bone pieces, metal, and other have been found. These are analyzed by applying various scientific methods to understand the life of people of those times. Inscriptions. Inscriptions mean engraved writing. Inscriptions are written on stone, rock, metal, ivory, terracotta, and other materials that last longer. Inscriptions are more reliable as these have a direct relationship with then events. Ashoka's inscriptions are the earliest inscriptions found in India. Most of his inscriptions in Brahmi script. Their language is Prakrit. Thousands of inscriptions are found in Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Sanskrit, Prakrit languages. Samudragupta's Allahabad pillar inscriptions, Imadi Pulukeshi's Aihole inscription, Karavela's Hathigumpa inscription, and other inscriptions portray the military achievements of then rulers. The Uttara Meruru inscription narrate the rural administration of Chola kings. Apart from this, many political, social, cultural, economical, educational, religious aspects are reflected in these inscriptions. Coins. Though the coins are small in shape, they contain many important aspects. They are helpful in understanding the geographical extent of the ruler's kingdom who minted the coins. They also aid us in knowing the language of administration, titles that the king possessed, their religion, economic conditions of the times, and metal technology in vogue of the particular kingdoms. Samudragupta had minted 7 different types of gold coins. Based on the pictures of those coins, it is said that Samudragupta was a lover of music and he had conducted Ashwamedha Yagna too. Gautamiputra Shatakarni got the name of Nahapanna erased on his coins and engraved his name on them. This supports the view that Gautamiputra had defeated Nahapanna. The availability of Roman coins in Bengaluru proves the fact that this religion had trade link with Romans 2000 years back. Monuments. Monuments are the major sources to write history. Palaces, temples, forts, and pillars, etc. are the monuments only. Mehrulli's iron pillar and Vijayapura's whispering gold gumbas are the evidences of the maturity of then science and technical knowledge. Shahjahan's Taj Mahal tells the story of love. Chariot's Vijayasthamba, victory pillar, tells the victory of Rana Kumbha. The cave pictures and engravings of Elephanta, Ellora, and Ajanta narrate the mastery over painting and sculpture during their time. The temples of Aihole and Pattadakallu explain the evolution of Indian temple architecture. The monuments of Nalanda and architecture of Madras built by Gawan in Bidar narrate the importance given to education during those times. The fort of Srirangapatna explains the accomplishments in the area of defense technology. Thus, the monuments throw light on them contemporary religious aspects, technology, economic growth, scientific knowledge, and creativity achieved. Other ruins. Based on the various pieces, terracotta bangles, beads, and seal procured during the examination, one can understand the socio-culture, economic, political, and religious life of then people. Not only this, one can also understand the food habits and pattern of business of those times by applying carbon 14 dating prodigior on the biological ruins, dead animals, birds, and trees found in these sites. One can arrive at the accurate period of the ruins. Buddha stupas came to light during excavation of Sannati in Yadgiri district and Rajagatta of Doddaballapura taluk. In the excavation conducted at the Arikamedu and Pattanam in Tamil Nadu, a large number of evidences were found that speak of commercial contact between South India and Romans. Like this, the remains found at excavation tell many things that were lost over a period. You should know. C14 radioactive carbon. This should be only one to the biologic fossils, trees, birds, plants, and animals. In the every bean, the C carbon 14 and carbon 12 will be present in equal amounts. After the death of being C12 remains constant, but C14 start losing its volume. It loses half of C14 by 5700 years. If one can estimate the level of C12 and C14, one can estimate the accurate age of the fossil. Fossils which are 10,000 years, one can also identify using this carbon dating method. Thank you.